Okay, so I'm just going to talk you through how to get onto the Zoom meeting from the invitation that you'll be sent. So you'll receive an invitation which will have a link in it, something like this. And so the most straightforward thing to do is just click on the link, but we'll just notice that meeting ID and passcode, you might need those. We'll come back to them if you do. So first of all, just click on the link there. And that will take you into Launch Meeting. Now, depending on whether or not you've got Zoom on your computer already, you might be prompted to either install something or to, agree to open it. Basically, just agree to do whatever it does. If you need to download it, then just follow the instructions. In order to download it, you might want to check this before you start. Okay, and then you'll come to this or a screen that looks something like this, which will vary depending on your computer. And I am going to, you can choose what name you put in there and then just click on join. And it will sign you into the computer. You'll get a little preview of your video. Then just choose join with video first of all. I'm going to explain why, and then you'll come to a waiting room, which is like this. And basically, I put you in a waiting room when you join the meeting, just so that if there's anybody who I'm not expecting, we can just hold them in the waiting room. It also means as well that once the class has started, I'll allow people to come in for a few minutes from the start, but if we're really well into the class, then it stops people sort of suddenly kind of bursting in part way through. Now, as I mentioned, if you have any problems with the link and the link doesn't work, you may be asked to use the meeting ID and the passcode. And if you do have any problems, you can just go to the Zoom website. And if you just literally search for Zoom, you will find it. It will be the first thing that comes up. And just go to the Zoom website and choose join a meeting, which you'll see is just up at the top there. Join a meeting, and then you'll be prompted to put in those ID codes that I showed you on the email. So you've got the meeting ID, which is this number here, and then you've got the passcode there. So it'll ask you for the meeting ID first and then the passcode. And you just click on join, and that should be it. You should be in. Okay, now let's have a look at how to set up your screen once you are in the video call so that you can get it how you want it. So when you come in, again, depending on the device you're in, you will probably have a setup something like this with lots of little boxes. The first thing to do is change it so that the teacher is the biggest thing that you can see on the screen. And there's a couple of ways you can do that. You can either go to speaker view, which is this one here, which gives you one really big person on the screen here, and you'll see that the other people in the class are in a little bubble here at the side. Exactly how this looks will depend on your device that you're accessing it from. I'm on a Chromebook at the moment. And then you can even get rid of all of those completely by clicking on that little button there, which just minimizes everything. And so that basically you've just got a full screen with the tutor on it, which is the ideal setup that you really want. Now, if you want to go out of that, or if you need to change it back again, you can click on here. We've got exit full screen, we've got gallery view. There'll be something similar again, depending on the device. If you're on a phone, that will have just the speaker as the biggest thing on the phone. Another couple of things just to mention is that at the moment, you will notice that the other people on the call are muted, and I will mute everybody that's in the class just so that we don't get any disruption from background noise, you know, kids coming in, that sort of thing, doorbells ringing. It happens when you're doing yoga at home. It's absolutely fine. But if we can minimize the disruption to other people, then that's great. So I will mute you, but that doesn't mean that you can't say something if you feel that you need to. So if you do need to unmute, you can either unmute and say something. If you come down here to the bottom of the screen, you can see here, you can just toggle on and off there. And if you want to say something or ask something, but you don't want to do it in front of everybody, you can use the chat function as well. And you can click on this little speech bubble down at the bottom and it will bring up a chat box, and you can choose whether you want to send the message to everybody or, for example, just to me. Now, one thing about chat, though, is I may not notice it if I'm in the middle of teaching, so apologies if there's a bit of a delay in replying to any messages. And then the only other thing just to mention is what to do when you get to the end of the class. And as I say, to leave the meeting, if you just go down here where it says end, click there and just choose leave meeting. And you can do that also anytime if you need to leave early or something like that. That's fine, I understand. And I think that's all the basics of using Zoom for a yoga class. So I hope to see you in a class soon. Bye.